Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Firstly, thank you. We have just reached 220,000 subscribers. Guys, we've been growing at such like a fast pace. And with that being said, please make sure you subscribe. I will link down below. And make sure that you send the video to your friends, recommend. As always, I think there's something for everyone. There's something for couples, single people, needing some financial stimulation, or just plain conversations about family and Bible study and all sorts of things. So today's video is I guess to put it in better words, it's just emotional but also liberating. And I was actually even considering, do I want to share this part or do I not? And so the only reason I am actually sharing is because I've loved being transparent with my audience and growing with my audience, because I never ever want to give the illusion that my life is perfect or give the illusion that things are always happening for me, and that we don't go through things or we don't lose things or we never have to make changes. So I try to be as transparent as possible, but still also adhering to my own boundaries. Today is Monday, and as I say this, it's the last day of me being an owner of a salon. After almost 5 years, or kind of 4 years of running Anino as a beauty salon, I've decided to make the decision to sell it. Now, before I even continue, I want to make it clear that I'm not selling Anino. So Anino, the brand, stays with me, but the salon as a whole, I've decided to let go of that. And the reason being is I think sometimes we try to hold on to things because that's what launched you, that's how you started, it was working, it was thriving. But for me, it was very evident that God was just saying, this is not where I need you anymore, it's time to move on. And now this won't always be the case for all entrepreneurs or business people, but for me, it's very important that I listen to what the vision is for God, where He's taking me next. And as a visionary, I don't always get to see through things right until the end, but I get to be part of a lot of journeys, a lot of starting things out. But ultimately, I need to let God be the decision maker. And to just give a backstory, I think after COVID, obviously during COVID, when the hard lockdown happened, we struggled a lot as a company, no income at all. And I basically had to make things happen with my own money. And we continued and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed another year post-COVID. But I just found myself getting more drained, but also my career on the other side starting to grow. And I had to make a decision now that, am I able to give the salon the energy that it needs in order to resuscitate, right? Get into another space. Because the most important thing we need to know about where the world is now is that things are never going to go back to normal. And even the way that we run our businesses, the type of businesses we have, it's either you change, you grow, or you get left behind. And I started consulting, looking at my options. And even in looking at my options, I knew, okay, if I want my business to thrive, these are my options. And then secondly, do I have the capacity for that? If I have the capacity for that, I have to sacrifice time for my family or time from my other businesses, which is Mpumile Doba Creations and Wisdom and Wellness. And I had to decide, what is the return on investment? Does it make sense? And I guess it also helps to speak to to have a mentor, to have people around you who started businesses, sold businesses, closed businesses. And a key thing that I heard from 3 people who I trust was, you cannot be emotionally attached to a business unless you're running an NGO. And it's taken me an entire year, the whole of last year. It was conversations of, okay, are we continuing? Are we making the changes? Or are we closing down? And finally, I think the book Crazy Faith by Mike Todd also helped me make my final decision, where I said, God, I hear you speak, but I'm scared because I've got these responsibilities. I've got people who need these jobs. I've got this brand. And God says, trust me, you know. And as soon as I decided to make that call and say, I am officially done with the beauty salon business, everything kind of fell into place. Well, let me not make it sound immediate, but there was freedom and things just started aligning. And we talked with Brendan. I can't exactly share all the information, but in our talks with Brendan, we're just saying that, you know, we think of the worst when we have to make decisions. And sometimes the thought of making a decision is worse than the actual decision. Because for me, the thought of, oh my gosh, closing the business, this was so daunting. I spent nights crying. And that's just the truth. I cried. I grieved my business. And I want to say this to also give you an opportunity that if you lose something, no matter what it is, it doesn't just have to be people. Give yourself some time to grieve, to go through the loss, to feel the loss, to connect your moments and your memories. And I spent the greater part of last year grieving the loss, knowing that it's time to let go. It's time to make some changes. That by the time I made the call, it was a freeing feeling more than a daunting feeling. And not knowing what's on the other side, I was like, God, I trust you and this feels good. And I've already seen God align certain opportunities. And just cover. I mean, just going to my staff, I was very, very worried with my staff as I have a very good relationship with them and I care deeply for everyone and I know their situation. I said, you know what, guys, I would love to save the business. And they begged, they're like, we'll run it for you. And it's like, as much as you can do that, it still sits on my shoulders. It's still my responsibility. And my promise to them was, you know what, I'll make sure that I find everybody a job. I know people in the beauty industry, you'll be fine. And this was before I knew I could sell the business. I was just closing down pretty much. And then a wonderful lady called Kumutso called me. We had conversations, endless conversations, and she's buying the salon and basically and taking over the staff. And that was an answered prayer that God, you delight in giving us our heart's desires. Like, God, you provide, man. You hear our prayers. You hear even those things that we can't even ask for, that we can't utter with our own lips. And so she will be continuing with the staff. So I had actually already spoken to some of my clientele that I've been with for years, and I'm saying, hey, listen, we're closing, but feel free to keep a relationship with whoever does your hair, whoever does your nails. But now I'm excited to let you know that as much as I won't be owning the salon anymore, you can go to Redefine Beauty, owned by Kumutso. Same location. I know she's gonna make some changes, but for now it's kind of the same feel. She's got the same stuff. So if you were loyal to your nail person and your wax person like I was, we have a place to go to. I'm excited to still be going there and supporting, and it's just amazing thinking of her journey. She was just telling me she was in corporate. She was at Investec too, in fact, where I used to work, and she was in corporate, and she told God that, God, after 2 years I want to leave my job and carry on with my business. So she started Redefine Beauty 2 years ago, part-time, working full-time, and then doing her beauty thing. And exactly 2 years, this situation happened. I guess we crossed paths where I need to let go, but she needs to pick up the baton, or she needs to start something new. And we've both been able to add value to one another's journeys and equip each other. So I hope you guys will continue to support her. I think she's going to do incredible. From the meets that we've had and her interactions with the staff, I can already see that the staff is in safe hands. And the beauty industry, the salon, is in safe hands. But as for me, I feel very, very liberated. I do think my time is very limited. And I have, because I'm a natural visionary, I have so many ideas, but at the end of the day, I still have a family. And I was getting to a point where I have to now choose, okay, do I do drop-offs or do I attend a morning meeting? Do I spend weekends with my kids, my husband, or do I go to the salon? And I was struggling a lot. And with having both my kids in school, the age that they're at, the business that I'm in, I value rest, time away with my husband, and time with my kids. So I have had to pick now, what deserves my time right now. And you know, God is so faithful because he prompts us before we even know that, hey, it's a time for a shift. And in case you're wondering where to from here with the Nino, the butters are gonna be a thing. But for now, I think I'm just gonna take some time out, breathe a little, and park the brand. The brand has been built. It's meaningful. It means something to me. It means something to the business, to my family. It catapulted my whole career. It started so many things. I mean, when I started Anina, I was doing house calls, and it's amazing how whenever I'd meet the woman, we'd have the kind of conversations I have on Wisdom and Wellness. So God has been so intentional from the get-go, but it had to start somewhere. And for me, it started with nails, then natural hair, and an entire beauty bar, and evolved into butters. And the goal now is to go more into my butters and other amazing things that we can't always share from the beginning. But for now, I just want to say thank you. And the reason I had to share my journey was because I used social media was a tool for me, and the way I marketed my business, the way I got word out there, I didn't get much opportunity to use traditional media for marketing and advertising, but YouTube, Instagram has been key. So I thought it was fair or rather an honor to share that. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. It has officially come to an end for me. I have grieved the loss, and now I'm in a space of God. I'm grateful for the time you've given me, the people that I've met, the leader I got to be. I mean, when I started, I knew nothing about leadership, and I believe I've grown, and there's still so much growth, but that place is no longer where God wants me to grow and to operate. So I just thought I should share, and just to also encourage you that if God is telling you to move to another place, best believe he's taken care of what's on the other side. Our part is to obey and do what's necessary. And my mentor always says, lick your wounds. You know, sometimes we make some mistakes. We need to take accountability and ownership, but also trust the process and know that life, healing, growth, success is not linear, but it's a process. It's a graph. It goes up and down. And at the end of the day, if you trust in God, believe in God, and are obedient to the call of God, you get to win either way. You might not win where you thought you would win, but the beautiful thing, what I've learned about life, is to open myself to wherever God leads me. I didn't know YouTube would be a thing for me. I didn't know speaking would be a thing for me. I didn't know influencing and wisdom and wellness and events and all the stuff we're doing is a thing. But here we are, feeling fulfilled, doing God's work, and provided for. I hope this video did something for you. I hope it can help you make a decision. But even in making your decision, allow yourself to grieve, to let go, to feel, and ultimately to say, God, I trust you. I'm Pumila Dwaba. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Let's grow the channel. Share the video to someone who might need it. And I will see you on Wednesday. God bless you.